no means the reason to do this, but we'll be in a position to clearly identify a ranking order of players that we want to sign and commit money to as free agents, and then have the correct vision as to how they're going to make this roster. I just think it'll bring a little bit more order on the third day with everyone in their own houses. Yeah, look, here's the one thing I would say is we were able to identify and fill some needs without reaching, and so obviously with Caesar, we felt like an interior lineman would be someone that could help us, and that was early in the draft yesterday. Linebacker certainly was an area that we knew coming into today we wanted to hopefully address, and yet without having that second round pick, there's uncertainty as to whether one of those guys is going to be there or be available. And so we're able to move back up when we saw our guy fall some, and then look later in the third round when you really start looking at the value of our fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh, and you do the point totals. It can appear like a lot, but it really was light getting into the third round. We needed to find a trade partner. Minnesota, fortunately, was one that at the last minute they were in, and we have a clear vision for the two players we selected today. So two things happened. We hit on a couple need positions, and we felt like where we had these guys graded, it really matched. Sure. Linebacker, it's a great question. He had a lot of production in college as a rush end. He's a guy we think that can play at the Mike position and also play at the Sam position. I do like his pressure traits, but we see him as someone that can play in a stack position if need be, or certainly be a guy that can give us some versatility as a rusher. It was absolutely, and man, I'll bet that probably took a good part of an hour. There were a lot of conversations close with one team, and then look, there's no certainty because two things has to happen. When you're doing that, the team that's willing to make a trade and come out generally means that a player they're looking for got selected either near their pick. So there were a few times we thought we were close to a deal, and then it fell off, and it ended up being a little bit of a blessing because the compensation really was something we were very comfortable with relative to kind of getting up. The challenge in moving up sometimes when you're picking at 24 or the bottom third of each round there's a tremendous amount of point differential, to go from the bottom of the third into the second, or the bottom of the third to the top of the third. And so we sweated it. We sweated a few picks, hoping that he was still there. Obviously, we're not going to make a trade like that unless that player's on the board, So in each case, those trades come in while the team we're trading with is on the clock because your player's there. So, but we spent a lot of time on Vaughn, and it seemed like quite a bit of time on Troutman, but it seemed like a lot more with the first, third round pick.